feel my help coming. There is always something good going on in this Pat's neighborhood. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Miss Pat's Neighborhood. We have an exciting show planned for you today. Katie Ramser, Program Manager of Goodwill Cars to Work, will talk to me about the program and its many benefits to community residents. We will also have one of the program participants with us today who will share his experience in the program and the impact that it's had on his life. Our hidden gem today will be the owner of Bear Fruit and Grow LLC, Letitia Marshall. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned and we'll be right back.
It was an October night in 1915 when Methodist preacher William Joseph Simmons and more than a dozen other men climbed Stone Mountain in Georgia. Under the darkness of midnight they built an altar, set fire to a cross, took an oath of allegiance, and announced the revival of the Ku Klux Klan. By the early 1920s, the Klan had grown to 5 million members, infiltrating thousands of churches with hateful doctrine. The fact that Christianity was used to revive the Ku Klux Klan and justify its wave of terror begs the question. Without confession of the sin of white racism, white supremacy, white privilege, and white silence, can people who call themselves white Christians truly be free? Simmons College of Kentucky presents the Empower West Louisville 2020 Citywide Virtual Book Club. Join us for this live streaming event Tuesday, October 13th at 6:30 p.m. We'll hear from best-selling author, leading scholar, and national commentator Dr. Robert P. Jones and an honest and open discussion about his book, White, Too Long: The Legacy of White Supremacy in American Christianity. This event will stream live on the Facebook and YouTube pages of Simmons College of Kentucky, Tuesday, October 13th, starting at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Welcome back. Today joining me, I am so excited to have Katie Ramser, who's the program manager with Goodwill's Cars to Work program. Hi Katie, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
I am wonderful. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yes, ma'am.
I was so excited to hear. I mean, I'm very connected with Goodwill and the wonderful things that they are doing, but I was not familiar with the Cars to Work program. So I wanted to have you on so that you could talk to us about the program and how it can benefit our residents in our community.
Yeah, I would love to. So Goodwill Cars to Work has been around since 2012. What we do with the program is we do offer auto loans to people who have low or no credit scores. So our goal, of course, is to address transportation barriers and get people in a car, but we also want them to use that as a credit building loan. So we also do some wraparound financial coaching, and we have a couple partners on the program. So Park Community Credit Union, yay, we love them. They manage our loans for us. And then Oxmoor Auto Group helps us to match people with vehicles. And then Apprizin, they're the local nonprofit credit counseling agency. They do financial coaching and some credit health reviews for us as well. So it's great.
And so are there like pre-qualifications to actually qualify for the program?
We have quite a few, and I'll say them kind of quick. You do, of course, have to have a valid Kentucky driver's license. So we
that makes sense.
Yeah, we have to know you can drive your car off the lot. You do also have to be working at least 90 days. And then also you have to be on time with rent and utility payments, because we just never want to add more financial stress to someone. So we want to make sure that you're able to pay your bills before we add that loan payment. And then we also have a match down payment. So all applicants have to have $500 in savings, and then Goodwill matches that with another $500. So
Wow.
yeah, so I always tell people that's free money, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, free money is always good.
Yeah.
Well, wonderful. I didn't want to leave out. We also have today joining us Todd Presley, who is a friend of mine and also a church member with me at St. Stephen. And when I found out that he was a program participant, I was like, okay, so let's get him in and let's talk about, I really kind of want people, we know how, what it takes to get in the program, what the program is about. So I wanted you to share with us what your experience has been and what, you would recommend for people who are out there who may be experiencing a lack of transportation.
All right, thank you, Pat, for having me. I appreciate you calling me and asking me to be a part of your show. It's truly an honor. The Cars to Work program, just basically give you just a brief testimony about me. I've been working at Spectrum for 9 years now, and I've been catching a bus for 9 years. One, because I didn't want a car payment. I just couldn't afford it. And two, it's just that I just didn't want no extra weight on my shoulders. So I didn't have no problem catching the bus. But my fraternity brother, which is August Mapp, kept reaching out to me. I wasn't asking for anything. He just said, hey man, it seemed like you might need a car or whatever the case may be. And I was like, yeah, I just don't want no car payment. He said, just try it out. So I reached out to Miss Katie Ramser to see how it went, how it was going. So she gave me the application. When she gave me the application, I was reluctant a little bit because I was just not ready for no car payment or anything. Then she started breaking down everything, and then she put me on this budget program, and I had to fill out a lot of paperwork and fill out application, and there was some online things that I had to do to help me budget. And then when she did the application, I finally got approved. All the prerequisites that she already mentioned before. And then after that, what had happened is that then I hit a rock in the road. So it was a bump a little bit. So it's kind of, it's not a process to where you can rush into. It's something that you really have to think about, because if you rush into it, you'll find yourself getting ahead of yourself and you don't want to fall back too much. Yeah. Right. So right now, just still in the process. Everything is approved. Just waiting on everything to fall into place. But we know all things are going to work together. But I don't want to rush God, because if I rush God, then I'll fall back. So,
right. Okay. Well, wonderful. One of the things that I think sometimes we get ahead of ourselves. But one of the things you mentioned, and don't feel bad, because I think it's hard for most people, not just anyone, but budgeting. Yeah. It's really important that we learn how to manage the money that we have, because sometimes it's not an absence of money, it's just what we do with the money that we do have that puts us back. So I like that part, that there is a part. Now, do you spend an extensive amount? Like how long would it take someone typically to go through the program? Yeah,
usually most people it takes 4 to 6 weeks. Some people can go through quicker. I think my quickest is I've had a couple get through in 2 weeks, but they're very focused and motivated, I will say. So I feel like if you're ready, you got all your paperwork together, we can move it quicker. But there are some steps. So we do the budget review, we'll do a credit health review, and those are kind of education pieces. We'll kind of talk you through what's on your credit. And we're very lenient with credit. We don't consider credit score at all.
No.
So yeah, we're very generous in that way. So our biggest things are you just can't have an active bankruptcy or an active car loan, but otherwise we don't usually have that many issues with credit. So
okay. Well, and that's something that we, I say we've taken for granted, having good credit score. I know I did. When I was younger, I could have cared less about my credit score. I just did. But now I see the value in it. Yeah. and I want to make sure, you know, my daughter and my son keep up with their credit score and make sure that they're maintaining. So if someone were interested, I know that Goodwill has lots of programs, and I am a good friend and neighbor of Devon Holtz. Shout out to Devon Holtz, who is now at Goodwill. And so I follow a lot of the things that Goodwill is doing, and I did want to touch, you know, about, you know, Opportunity Campus, which is another great program that is actually coming to West Louisville. So I'm excited about that, because while, you know, Goodwill's already doing some wonderful things, but now they'll be in the heart of West Louisville. So we'll have much more access to all of these great resources. So what can you tell us about Opportunity Campus?
Yeah, so we did purchase some land. It's over on 28th and Broadway by the NIA Center. And we will be breaking ground over there in 2021. But we're hoping to move all of our offices to that space. So our corporate office and our career services, so we'll all be centralized. And then we'll have our career services. So we do Soft Skills Academy. We have a training program called Rise that kind of elaborates on that and does some job training. So anything people need help with, like career services wise, we'll be there and in the community and offering those services. So we're excited about that.
Yes, this is some good stuff, really good stuff. You know, a lot of times businesses have avoided coming west of 9th Street. And so whenever, you know, someone, an organization or a company decides to move their headquarters to West Louisville, it excites me because I think, you know, a lot of times the resources are here, we just don't know them. But you can't deny them when they're right there in your backyard. So I think that's a wonderful opportunity for the residents of West Louisville, and I want to make sure that we all know to be looking out for it. I think it's supposed to, you all are supposed to break ground next year. So we are definitely be looking forward to that. And then if anyone is interested in the Goodwill Cars to Work program, how would they get in touch with you, and how would they
so
get involved?
So you can call 502-259-0430 and you'll get me. Right now I'm the only one on the program, but I do have a new staff person starting in 2 weeks, so you'll get one of us if you call. I always return messages if you leave a message, so that's my big thing. And then you can also visit our website. It's www.goodwillky.org, and we do have a short online application. It's more just like general info, so if you fill that out, then we'll also call and follow up.
Okay. Now, one of the questions I didn't ask, what about income guidelines?
So we just have a cap, and it's 300% of the federal poverty guidelines, which I think for a single person is about $38,000. So it's pretty high. And then we don't have an income minimum because we're basing most of our decision off of budget, and that's very individual and fluctuates with different situations. So there's no minimum. It's just if you for employment, you do have to work at least 30 hours. If you receive Social Security of any form, you can work part-time, but you still have to be employed. So employment, of course, with Goodwill is our big focus.
Okay, well, wonderful. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else you would like to tell our guests?
I will just mention one other thing. So as far as car insurance goes, we do only require liability, which is pretty unheard of in lending. But we know that a lot of zip codes in Louisville, specifically West End, downtown zip codes, have double, triple, as Tom may have talked about, the cost of insurance. So we will work with people on that and allow liability only.
Oh, wow.
That's one of the downfalls of me getting the vehicle, which the car payment's not bad. And it's a nice vehicle that I already chose, but me living in the 40210 zip code, and I'll put it out there, they want at least $600, $500 down payment for the liability insurance. And me not having a vehicle for over 5 years, I have a clean driver record. I got my driver's license clean. I'm clean as a whistle. It's just that it's unfortunate that I can go live in 40272 and because I did do it, that the insurance would be only $200 or $250 down. I live in the 40210, and the car insurance for down payment is about $600.
Wow.
And that's a chunk for me right now.
Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yes, ma'am.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
The car payment's not really expensive because we already did the car payment and everything else. It's about $130 a month. And that's not bad for Chevrolet
No, honey,
Cruze.
that's really good.
That is,
Let's
it really
not-
is, and it's really affordable. It's just that the car insurance, right off the hand, I'm not a millionaire, but you know, I work paycheck to paycheck, so it's, and plus COVID, my second job is kind of shut down too right now, so that kind of hits hard too a little bit. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I will mention just real quick, so our car payments, most of them are between $150 and they go up to $210. So $210 is our highest.
Wow.
Yeah, and then we do interest reimbursement. As long as you pay the loan in full with no late payments, we'll pay back the interest. So I always tell people that's like a future savings account. So that's one other benefit.
Yeah, that's a great benefit.
It works. Yeah.
Well, this seems like a wonderful program. I can't imagine why anybody would want to take advantage of it.
Right, exactly. Yes.
Well, great. Well, I thank you all so much
Thank
for
you.
Thank
being
you.
with me today. Todd, we gonna get you to that car. That's the goal, is get you to that car. You hear now?
We're gonna get there. It's gonna work
Yes.
together for the good. I'm just patiently waiting. I'm a patient person, and I keep catching the bus. And I call where I catch the bus from my house to the bus stop. I call that the road to Damascus. So it changes my life. So I'm pretty good. I just keep praying and walking, and God is gonna open the door up in His timing.
Amen. Amen. Well, thank you so much again for being here with us. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Did you know that the word alma mater comes from the Latin meaning nurturing mother? One of our primary objectives at Simmons College of Kentucky is to nurture late bloomers. So it doesn't matter if you struggle through high school just to graduate, or even if you earn your GED. We don't look at a student's past, we look at their potential. Simmons College of Kentucky, creating the next generation of thinkers.
Welcome back. And because I so lack a green thumb, I so admire those who have the ability to make things grow. So I am delighted to have with me today Letitia Marshall, who is the owner of Bear Fruit and Grow LLC. You may or may not have heard of all of the wonderful things that they're doing. So we wanted to bring her here, and so you can share all of those great things you're doing in our city. How you doing?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me.
Good. Thank you for coming. I so appreciate it.
Sure.
So tell us all about Bear Fruit and Grow.
Well, listen, 3 years ago, I got this thing inside of me, right, that welled up, and I was like, okay, but I don't want to do it. You know, when you get that feeling that you need to do something, but you say no, right? You just like, I'm not, no, Lord, no. Because, you just fear you don't have enough money, don't have enough education, whatever it is, right?
Right.
And I definitely did not go to school for 7 years straight, okay, to farm.
Oh.
So I went to U of L, got a degree in psychology, and undergrad went straight to grad school after that. So 7 straight years, and got a degree in social work from Kent School. And so all of that time to come out some years later and wanted to farm. And so that's why I wasn't so sure about what I should do, And then I had a baby, and I was still thinking, Lord, this is not the right time, and no time was the right time. Then all of a sudden, we got stuck in the house for a few months.
Yes.
And you start to think about a lot of things, right? What matters to you, what should matter to you, what doesn't matter that much. You hear about all the tragedy, and life really is short. Mm-hmm. We don't have a lot of time here. And so when you get that thing, that's inside of you that is convicting you, you should probably listen to it. Yeah, and just go do what is passionate, what you're passionate about, and that's kind of Bear Fruit and Grow was a mini seasons, okay. And so anyway, I in July of this year, actually, I decided to go for it. I was gonna go legal, is what I said. I'm gonna tell everybody, I want the whole world to know about Bear Fruit and Grow. And it's really, we just want to walk with you as you grow food, right? You can be a beginner, you can be great at it, advanced at it, but just have a few problems, that you want to work out. So I'm here to just coach you along the way, okay? It doesn't matter. So I was not born with the green thumb, okay?
So there's hope.
No, there is hope. Yeah, you have to earn that green thumb. You have to learn that green thumb, okay? But farming is not, I'm not a stranger to farming. My grandparents own 60 plus acres in Metcalfe County, Kentucky.
Well, it's a part of our roots.
Yeah, yes ma'am. Oh, yes ma'am.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm just now, even though I'm very proud of where I come from and what my family has done, the legacy that my grandparents, my great-grandparents, and great-great-grandparents built, I have to say that I'm just now owning it. Really, really embracing being a Black farmer in America. But anyway, gardening has really helped me in a lot of different ways. One of the biggest ways is mental health. Yeah. I started to garden just wanting to know if I could do it. Can I really grow food? I hadn't tried as an adult. But what I found out was it was exposing a lot of things about my mental health that I didn't even know.
Wow.
And so I'm in the garden and I find myself digging a hole, but I'm kind of, getting mad. And I'm like, why am I so angry right now? Or why am I so sad right now? And so eventually I found out that the garden was dealing with me in a lot of different ways. I was angry about a lot of things. I was not confident in myself. I had a lot of depressive episodes that I didn't know I was having. It's kind of interesting, right? And so the reason why I call Bear Fruit and Grow is because I learned that someone was teaching me in the garden.
All right, in the garden.
Okay?
I like that.
About how to be patient with myself, how to be kind to myself, how to love myself.
Wow.
In the garden. Isn't that something?
That is something.
So not only are we growing food, right? And we can get on that topic later, food insecurity. But we're also growing as a person, if you let the garden allow you to be in that space to do that.
This is all very interesting to me. One of my favorite songs is In the Garden.
Nice.
And so just hearing you speak about that, I can see, the Lord works in mysterious ways.
Yes, he does.
And, it's always something, but just having you, and I never even thought about the name. And now it makes sense. It makes a whole lot of sense.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, we can grow food, and I'm not minimizing growing food. It's just, but the reason why I named it Bear Fruit and Grow is because of I understood what was happening. And I'm like, man, I wonder if other people can get it. I wonder if other people will experience what I'm experiencing.
Wow.
And what I found out was that they do eventually, right? But we got to let people get there themselves, right?
Yeah.
You have to be open and willing to get there yourself and allow some things to be exposed before you can heal.
Well, that's a great spiritual revelation.
I didn't mean to go there, but that's
but
what it's
sometimes
about.
that's where it takes you.
Yes,
So
that's
you just
exactly
gotta
where it
go
takes me.
where it takes you. But let's talk about the aspect of growing food.
Sure.
I've seen a lot of community gardens around.
Yes. There are a lot.
And I'm interested. I'm interested in learning. Like I said, I don't have a green thumb. I couldn't keep plants alive. I've been holding on to 2 plants and I'm determined that I'm gonna keep them alive.
Yes.
I'm just determined that
Yes.
I'm gonna keep them alive. But when I hear people talk about it, and I kind of get jealous because I see people, especially I love fried green tomatoes. And
Yes.
good Lord, if I could just go out to the vine and pull off a couple of tomatoes and fry them up, would be wonderful. But how, when you start talking about that, and I love the spiritual aspect that's involved, because I started thinking, I was like, oh, we could do a whole Sunday school class in the garden. I mean, it just makes sense.
That's right.
But, what would you advise people who are interested in looking into, just having a small garden? Because I do think we're going to get to a time where we're going to have to grow our own food. So
yeah, we are in that time. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So what would your advice be? What would you start with?
Start small, period. You don't have to have this big garden that you see in a magazine. And it doesn't have to look like that either, right?
Okay.
If you want to grow in a few buckets, because that's what you had in the garage, get those 5-gallon buckets and grow in those 5-gallon buckets. If you got a bowl, a big bowl, try that. Grow some lettuce in that.
Girl.
I know, and it's crazy, right? But it's true. You got to start where you are, and you can grow to something else. If you want to start big, start big. Do what you want. The garden is a place where you can just be who you want to be, do what you want to do, right? It's yours. But my advice would be for a beginner is to start small. Start with stuff that you like to eat. Don't grow something that you don't like to eat. If you don't like tomatoes, why are you growing it, right? Unless somebody in the house will eat the tomato, right? That's just time and resources that you don't want to waste, right? And then make sure you're in season, because if tomatoes don't grow well at all, okay, when it's 32 degrees outside, they won't grow, right? So you may want to grow some lettuce or some root vegetables like carrots and radish. But that's what I'm here to help you with. Okay.
So we can call you, and you can help us along our journey, our fruit and vegetable journey,
exactly
and know what
is.
we should be planting in what season.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That's wonderful.
Isn't that interesting?
It is.
And sometimes I still feel silly calling myself a garden coach, because people are like, a garden coach? Like, what do you do? But that just opens the door for the conversation. Like, would you like to grow your own food? Wouldn't it be cool to step outside your back door and harvest some basil or some mint or some tomatoes, right? Or zucchini. How cool is that?
And I think it will help me with my vegetable intake, because it's like some vegetables I haven't really been exposed to. I can't say I don't like them. I haven't been exposed to them, so I just don't eat them.
And we haven't been exposed that much to fresh fruits. I was just having this conversation with some ladies before the show, and I challenged them to even try a homegrown tomato versus an organic tomato at the store. It still tastes different.
Really?
It's
now,
still
see, I have
different.
never done organic, but I can tell the difference between a homegrown tomato and a store-bought tomato.
Definitely. My 4-year-old can tell a difference, honey. My husband, by the way, who is Joe Marshall, and I love him very much. We've been married since, has it been 13 years, 14 years? We got married right my senior year of college.
Wow.
So a long time, right? But his name is Joe Marshall, and he's on the Jefferson County School Board, by the way. If you
I know who that is.
Okay, all right, great. And but we have a 4-year-old, and she is beautiful and gorgeous, but she cracks me up. Like, she knows the difference between store-bought tomatoes and homegrown tomatoes. He bought a red tomato, slicing tomato home from the store. She said, "Daddy, I want some of that." And he's like, "You sure?" He said, "Yeah. Can I have a piece, please?" He cut her a piece of tomato. She didn't even get it in her mouth all the way. She said, "Yuck." He said, "What?" She said, "This ain't from my garden. This is a Kroger tomato." I died. I absolutely died. But yes, there is a huge difference in taste. Huge difference. Right? So even if it's your first time growing, I believe everybody can grow anything, but you do have to keep trying at some stuff, okay? I still make mistakes. So, I've been gardening for 5 years as an adult, but I still make mistakes. I still kill stuff, right? But that's not the worry. That's not the worry. Just celebrate what is happening right in front of you, right? That's where we want to be. Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I want you to tell people how they can get in touch with you if they are interested in the coaching aspect of growing.
Yeah. So I have a website. It's called barefootandgrow.com. So you can go there and check out the different rates. I do charge, and it's really hard.
Amen.
It's really hard, because that's not what we are. We're givers and helpers, right? And but yes, I do charge for it. But I'm willing to work with just about anybody, really. And so go there, check me out. My email address is barefootgardening@gmail.com.
Okay.
And I have a YouTube page as well, Barefoot Gardening. So check me out there. That's free, okay? And you can just follow along my experience, okay, in the garden. And we're on Facebook, Barefoot Grow LLC, on Instagram as well.
All right, okay. Okay, so we've added this new segment to, look, she gets scared, to the show. And it's just called One Word, First Thought. Okay. So it's a rapid fire, and it's just going to have a little fun. And I will give you a word or a statement, and you just have to tell me the first word that comes to your mind. Okay?
Okay.
Louisville.
Cardinals.
Entrepreneur.
Mompreneur.
Breonna Taylor.
Not enough.
All right. Bulldogs.
Yikes.
Cardinal Stadium.
Stay at home.
Flies.
Oh, I hate them.
Peace.
Jesus, please.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Luxury.
Love.
Okay. You did good job.
Thank you. That was fun. That was fun.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for being with us
Thank
today,
you so much.
Letitia. I look forward. I am going to call you because I do want to do. I want to try.
Let's
I want
do
to
it.
just try.
Let's do
And
it.
here at the Family Life Center, we're looking into doing more as far as community gardening.
Okay.
And so Alex and Muriel, I've been talking to them. And
Muriel's so dope. Can I give a shout out to Muriel?
You can give a shout out.
You know what?
Yes.
Muriel Gardner is just amazing. She is one of the farmers for Fifth Element Farms.
Yes.
AKA Apocalyptic Acres. And her and Michael George work together to farm in West Louisville. And they grow food and literally just give it away.
Yes.
So yeah, she is so dope, and it's just been a pleasure being able to meet her as well. So yeah, thank you for letting me do that.
Oh, wonderful, no problem. Well, thank you for tuning in to Miss Pat's Neighborhood. We'll see you next week, same time, same station, and always remember, it's a great day to do good in your hood.
Yes.
Always something good going on in Miss Pat's neighborhood.